tell you my name, because my name has been lost to time. But here's what I can tell you about myself. I'm Irish. I'm 32, and to my mother's ever-dying shame, I'm a spinster. So she decided that we had to go to Galway and sign up for one of those mail-order brides. About 6 weeks later, I get a letter from Pueblo, Colorado. A man named Mr. James Thompson. He was a widower and he had 7 children. And he needed help. So I sent a telegram. It cost 6 shillings. I didn't pay that for my last dress. But I boarded the ship in Galway after saying I was on my way. And aboard the ship I heard such tales of this country. We landed in New York City, and for the love of me, I cannot figure out why anybody in this great country would live stacked on top of each other. So you can understand my relief when I got back on the train. And we crossed over hills and the Mississippi River. And we got to Kansas. Why? Why would anybody settle in Kansas? And as we approached Denver, I cannot lie that my stomach started to turn a bit. I was going to marry a stranger. I'd never seen him before in my life. But I'm Irish and we don't back down from a fight. So we got to Denver and I stepped off and looked out at the sea of top hats and bonnets, waistcoats and skirts. And there was a man smiling at me. He had this, my mom would have called it a half-cocked smile. And she always said if a man looks at you like that, he means trouble. But that was my James. But more importantly, his daughter Emma, just 13, was with us. And I cannot deny that I fell fast in love with this lass. She had hair black as night and 2 wee dimples. 18 hours later, I became his bride. Then we went back to the hotel and had lunch. Is that something that's common here in the States, that you eat lunch in hotels? Never ate a lunch in a hotel in my life. Now, you men in the crowd, you wouldn't understand what I'm saying, but you women do. That there are things a 13-year-old girl cannot tell her dad that she needs. So her and I went shopping. And we bought her stuff so she could go away to college in the fall. Well, finishing school. Then on Sunday we went to Mass, August 7th. At 5 p.m. it was pitch black at night. In August in Ireland, it doesn't get dark till gone 10. So I asked Mr. Thompson, is this normal? And he said, no, this is quite strange. And then we got to Colorado Springs. And he said, come on, let's stretch our legs. So we got out onto the platform and he pointed up. And he said, Mrs. Thompson, you can't see it, but right there is Pikes Peak. And you'll be able to sit on your front porch, drink your coffee in the morning and see it. And I said, we'll have tea. And that's the end of it. But there was also 4 feet of snow on the platform. In August, it might snow once or twice a year in Ireland, usually around Christmas. I can't say that me and Emma didn't have a snowball fight. And I'm not saying which one of us knocked Mr. Thompson's top hat off. But it was Emma, and I will stick to that story. Now, the engineer of our train, they called him the Swiss because he was always on time. So when we were due at 8 o'clock at Union Depot, and we didn't show up, and it was gone 8:15, 8:20, and then 8:30. The station master said, lads, we better go north, and I don't know what we're going to find. The engine car made it across the arroyo. but a log had hit the bridge, and so the number 2 car that was in the middle fell, and we were in the number 3 car, and we went down. Have any of you ever felt that feeling in your tummy when you hit a bump and your stomach kind of turns? Well, that's what it felt like as I grabbed Emma, because she was my daughter now. And Mr. Thompson did what men do. He grabbed the 2 of us and held on to his womenfolk. The water came in from one side and pushed us out the other of the car. And then a tree hit us, and I never saw Emma again. But off in the distance, I saw Mr. Thompson's head bob once, and I never saw him again either. Now, us ghosts, we like to gossip a bit. And some of them have told me that some of us were found as far away as La Junta. Now, I don't know how far away it is, but from the way they talk, it's quite a distance. And then others say that they were never found at all. This was reported as the worst train wreck in United States history. So it's no surprise that it made the papers in Chicago and New York, but it also made it in London and Moscow, Singapore and Tokyo, and Honolulu, Hawaii, places I'd never even heard of. Other women were named. There was a Margaret and a Mary, an Elizabeth and an Annie. None of these big papers decided to name me. I was just Mrs. James Thompson. But there was one paper in a tiny mountain town that had a newspaper called the Herald. And the Durango Herald named me. Comes back to me now. My name is Ethel Thompson, and I hope none of you forget me.